everyone, my name's Liz and I'm from Myrtle Knits. Today I'm going to show you how to do ribbing, which is this part of the fabric here. So I'm demonstrating on the same piece of fabric I've been using to show you some of the other techniques. So we did a cast on row in our first video, then we did a knit stitch and several of those made these bumps, which was a garter stitch. Then I showed you the purl stitch, which relates to all of these bumps here. Together with a knit stitch each row, alternate rows, so knit one row, purl one row, creates this stitch, and that's stockinette stitch. So you can tell the knit side, which is the ones that show the V, and the purl side show the bumps. So with ribbing, you can usually use this on things like jumpers, and they tell you to cast on a certain amount and then rib for a certain amount of inches or centimetres, and that would depend on what depth you like it. And it creates this stretchy fabric. And you can see from here that it's got the V, so that's our knit stitch, and just sitting slightly behind is the purl stitch. Now if you run up to the top of the V's, you can see that there's no bump on this stitch at the top, this one here. But if you go into the little ditch that's behind the knit stitches and go up to the stitch at the top, you can see there's a bump. So that's how you can tell when you're doing ribbing which stitch you're on. So the knit stitches don't have the bump, the purl stitches do. Okay, so we'll get straight into showing you how to do this. And it's your knit stitch, so as we did before, where you go up the stitch and you form a cross with your needle, your right hand needle at the back. And we're always transferring our stitches from our right hand needle to our left hand needle. And so your first stitch is you knit, so you take your yarn around the back to the front and then back down and take it off. So what you need to do then, to go onto your purl stitch, you need to bring your yarn forward, because when you're doing a purl, if you go back to our previous videos, you'll notice that the yarn is on the front for purl and it's around the back for knit. So bring that around the front because we're going to do a purl stitch, and we can tell it's a purl because of the bump, and then we go down that stitch and form the cross in the front. Wrap the yarn round as we did in video 2, and then put that back up over there onto the right hand needle, and then yarn behind and then knit. I should do a few more of these and then I shall show you what we do at the end of the row. So do these nice and slowly so you can see what we're doing. This is a purl stitch. Knit stitch. And I'm going to pause it here and I shall work to the end and then come back to you. Okay, we're at the end of the row. I've just got my last 2 stitches to do. I had 30 stitches in all on my needles, and so my last 2 stitches is I've got a knit one and then bring my yarn forward because I've got a purl one, and that's the end of the row. What we finish on, when we turn our work to come back the other way and we put that back into our left hand there and bring this needle round to the empty needle into our right, we do the opposite. It's the opposite stitch. So we finished on a purl, which has got the bump on this side, if you can see that. And then when we turn it round, it's a knit stitch, and then the next one's a purl. So all we do is start again, yarn round, take off the needle, and then bring your yarn in front, down into the stitch for your purl, yarn around the needle, and take it off the needle. I shall continue with this with my ribbing. In the next video I'm going to show you how to increase and decrease stitches. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for listening today. Feel free to subscribe, ready for the next video, put a thumbs up or a thumbs down depending whether you liked it or not, and I will see you next time. I'm just going to go and enjoy my sparkling elderflower cordial, and today I've got my bluebell flowers, which is my favourite scented candle burning. Always nice to have a candle when you're knitting. Take care everybody, bye bye.